The Golden City of the Sun God. In the ancient land of Azteca, where the sun god Huitzilopochtli watched over the people, a legend was born. The Golden City of the Sun God was a place where the gods themselves would visit, leaving behind treasures and wonders. The city was said to be built by the hands of the gods themselves, with walls of gold and streets of silver. It was a place where the sun shone brighter, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. In the heart of the city, a magnificent temple stood, dedicated to the sun god. It was said that the temple was built by the god himself, and that it held the secrets of the universe. The temple was adorned with intricate carvings and statues of the gods, each one more magnificent than the last. The walls of the temple were covered in gold, and the floors were made of the finest marble. The temple was said to be the most sacred place in all of Azteca, and only the high priest was allowed to enter its inner sanctum. One day, a young priest named Kukulkan was chosen to be the new high priest of the temple. Kukulkan was known for his wisdom and his devotion to the sun god. He was said to have a special connection with the gods, and they would often speak to him in his dreams. As the new high priest, Kukulkan was tasked with maintaining the temple and ensuring that the rituals were performed correctly. One night, as Kukulkan was performing the sacred rituals, he felt a strange energy in the air. It was as if the gods themselves were watching over him. Suddenly, the temple began to shake, and the walls of gold began to glow. Kukulkan knew that this was a sign from the gods, and he prepared himself for what was to come. As the temple continued to shake, a door in the inner sanctum opened, revealing a staircase that led deep into the earth. Kukulkan knew that this was the way to the golden city of the sun god. He gathered his most trusted priests, and together they descended into the darkness. As they walked deeper into the earth, they saw wonders that they had never seen before. The walls were lined with precious gems, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. They walked through tunnels of gold and silver, and they saw statues of the gods that seemed to be alive. The further they went, the more magnificent the city became. Finally, they reached the heart of the city, where the sun god himself stood. Huitzilopochtli was a magnificent being, with eyes that shone like the sun and a smile that seemed to light up the entire city. The gods themselves were gathered around him, and they welcomed Kukulkan and his priests with open arms. The gods told Kukulkan that he was to be the guardian of the golden city of the sun god, and that he was to ensure that the rituals were performed correctly. They also told him that he was to use the treasures of the city to bring prosperity to the people of Azteca. Kukulkan was overjoyed and promised to do everything in his power to fulfill his duties. From that day on, Kukulkan was known as the guardian of the golden city of the sun god. He spent his days performing the sacred rituals and his nights dreaming of the wonders that lay within the city. The people of Azteca revered him as a hero, and they believed that he was the chosen one of the gods. For centuries, Kukulkan continued to guard the golden city of the sun god, ensuring that the rituals were performed correctly and that the treasures of the city were used to bring prosperity to the people. His legacy lived on, and the city became a symbol of the power and majesty of the sun god.